If you're gonna be making music about streets, talk about streets, no snitching, and then you wind up snitching, why don't you make songs about snitching?
Boy, if you don't. Gunna, even before the Young Thug situation, he was on CNN telling about somebody doing some and end up giving a description.
That's why it's come back to that street word, snitch. No one's want to be labeled as a snitch. They actually had on the same exact color.
You really screwed up this time!
They actually had on the same exact color.
And people try to say, we all knew Gunna wasn't no street dude.
Bullshit.
You got 21 Savage. When Young Thug and Gunna was going back and forth, 21 Savage was saying, hey, y'all should squash it. Man, F the streets. That's when he came up with the F the streets movement, and that was after people found out 21 Savage had this type of visa to where you have to cooperate with the police if you was victimized. And if y'all know, 21 Savage had a situation where his friend lost his life and 21 Savage was injured. So, it seemed like people say F the streets when they can't get anything else from the streets. They'll use the streets all day long until they get into some
Just say it!
until they get into some heat, and then it's F the streets.
The snitching part, there's a lot of niggas doing that now.
Sheesh.
And it's out there. It's put forward for everyone to see. If you live by the code, and that's the code you live by because that's the streets. You feel me? You live by that code, then you gotta die by it. You know what I mean? That's where you come from. Now, some of these guys up here that's doing snitching, I ain't gonna say some of them, most of them, they got more money than me, you, and the average Joe. So they consider themselves probably civilians now in a sense.
I'm real heavy on cripping, period. I'm gonna do that till the day I die. Sometimes I ask the Lord, when I be asking the Lord for forgiveness, first thing pop up in my head is, boy, I can't stop being no crip though.
But they still have to hold down this type of street cred, credential, clout in order to sell music. Man, you got money, bro. You're a fucking civilian. Fuck that. You're a civilian, period. That's how that go. You got too much money to mess off your family, your personal life, your personal lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that going away. You ain't got no time for this. Why would I jeopardize my millions, sacrifice all of this to go sit down to keep it OG and the G code, especially if you got money? Gucci Mane said, I'm too old for this shit, basically. But you can find a clip of him saying that he would never snitch and he gonna die by it. But what he's doing now is pretty much going against his word. You lost your credits.
He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
You lost your credential. Nobody's gonna take you serious after that now. Don't make any more rap songs after this, Gucci Mane. Okay? My boy 6ix9ine was pretty much making some good points. And I'm not gonna lie about that. If you're gonna be making music about streets, talk about streets, no snitching, and then you wind up snitching, Why don't you make songs about snitching?
Boy, if you don't.
Instead of making street songs talking about you don't snitch and I'm getting off on this, I'm selling this and I'm doing that. Make songs about snitching. Once you snitch, hold on to that. Come back with some old music talking about how much of a big of a rat you are. You know what I'm saying? Do that.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen, bro. Because they already know.
Of course not.
The ramification that come with snitching. But like you said a couple minutes ago, as far as people looking at 6ix9ine the way that they do, because of I think race do play a part in it, because you know, if people were to mention the fact that black people took out Nipsey Hussle, if black people said that, people will kind of understand that. But let a white person say that, they'll instantly be like, oh, you just being racist, X, Y, and Z. So I've heard multiple times, matter of fact, the homegirl Loyalty and Betrayal, she's not black, but she cover a lot of topics. She do a lot of crime solving stuff.
Right.
That's revolved around a lot of people that's in Chicago mainly. And a lot of the crime that's in Chicago are done by black people. But people would be offended and say, what do you don't have anything to do with this because you're not black.
He ain't lying.
And you know, I disagree with that. I believe if it's done in the public, then anybody can criticize it. And some people just don't like to hear other people outside of the race or the culture make commentary on, you know, what's currently going on. But they could be 100% correct. And with this interview that we about to get into, it shows the hypocrisy of, you know, certain people believe that it's cool if this person do it if they got clout, but if the next person do it, then it's a no-no. Like, honestly, like, I think that's like how life is. The same thing that goes on with somebody that people find attractive. You know that whole what's that, flirting versus harassment? If you attractive and you told a female, hey, what's up, bubble butt? You know, oh, you so crazy, oh, you so funny, this and that. But if they don't find you attractive, the first thing they'll say, oh, get away from me, you pervert.
Thank you.
So people pick and choose, you know, who they like and who they let things slide for. And I think this is the same situation with 6ix9ine, to where it's not necessarily the message, it's the messenger. Tekashi 6ix9ine is a loudmouth individual from New York, and that already can rub people the wrong way. You know, they always say be humble, be modest about what you got going on. But if you always going around parading, talking about you the ish and you the best and all this other stuff, people are going to be looking for reasons to say that you're not that.
Okay.
So I think 6ix9ine put himself in this situation by just being a blabbermouth, bro. And
I get that.
Yeah, like snitching, like, you know, I've never done anything that was in the street and then told on somebody. So I'm not no street nigga like that, but you know, I think we've all done things that wasn't the right thing to do at certain times. But you know that there's codes, you know that there's ramifications behind everything. And I think another reason why they're really on 6ix9ine ass is for the fact that people perceive that, like, come on, bro, you paying these guys to be around you, and then now that they took advantage of you, now you want to cry wolf, and it don't work that way.
No.
You know, and to be fair, I think that's right, because it's like you gang when you got 20 niggas around you, but then when those 20 niggas start extorting you, now it's please help me.
Hey man, so you gonna tell me 94.6 of y'all are not subscribed?
What are y'all doing? Hit that subscribe button and put notifications on all.
Now let's get to the video.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Are you a fan of my brand and want to show your support? Well, I got some awesome merch for you to check out today. I got everything from stylish t-shirts featuring my logo to cozy hoodies that are perfect for those chilly nights. And don't forget about the signature hats and mugs. Whether you heading out to a concert, running errands, or just hanging out with friends, my merch is the perfect way to show your love for the brand. And the best part, I got some exclusive deals and discounts going on right now. So what you waiting for? Head over to the store, grab your favorite item before they gone.
Yo, you now rocking with classic music. Now what I want you to do is hit that like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Yeah, let's get it.